What's up, gamers? It's time to play some Heroes Charge. Today, it's really going to be more discussion than anything else. Actually, hold on, let me check something on my Heroes camp real quick. Ooh, the Vault is now officially level 5. Yes, I've been actually working diligently to push the Warhol to 5, so now I'm able to level everything else up. So once I get the Warhol done, I always do the Vault next, and then I do, everything else since now I have, a lot of my resources protected. But that's not what we were here to show you. It just happened to pop up. What I want to talk about are some new heroes. So first off, we're going to start with the monthly hero that pretty much everyone has access to as long as you log in. He's going to be on the very bottom. I want to say he's a backline hero, but I might be wrong. It's called the Thunder Beast. That's right. God, I feel like playing, what was that game called? Gauntlet Legends? The Thunderhammer. That's right. So anyone who gets that reference, nice. So anyway, let's check out this guy's abilities. I'm not going to go really into stats or anything. I just kind of want to get first impressions. That's kind of the point of this. So let's take a look. So his active skill or ultimate is basically summons thunders to strike random enemies. Each enemy hit beyond the first adds damage. So basically, what I'm assuming is he's going to probably hit, someone in the front line, and whoever basically is in front of him and anyone next to him will get hit for even more. So it might be cumulative or something. So seems okay. Like I said, just okay. Ball lightning, which I've seen like in Magic the Gathering. Basically, he increases ball lightning and deals area damage over time. Or releases ball lightning. Okay. So, damage over time is a good thing. There's an Outland portal that uses, where you have to use people who deal damage over time. The damage over time mechanic is okay. I think it's good more for like raid bosses than anything else. But as far as like arena or anything like that, I don't know that that's ever really been a huge deal. It's more of a minor thing, so it's passable because it would be a good ability in raid. The next skill is Thunder Thread or Thunder Tread. Excuse me, I can't read. A circle of lightning down to the ground, dealing damage and stunning enemies. So being able to stun people is pretty good. So that's nice. So I think that's something that Lightning Master does, but it's okay. And then the bottom skill at purple is Thunder Blessing. Blessed by the thunders. Basically, he's able to ignore enemies' magic resistance by a certain amount. That's actually pretty strong. Anytime you can ignore resistance, that's always a good thing. So, do I think that you're going to see him in arena? Probably not, but I think he has potential at least in Guild Raid. So, look out for that. But yeah, that's the Thunder Beast. And the next one we're going to take a look at is Serpent Warlock, but I don't have him. I have to go to the Magic Stone weekly hot sale? I guess I have to then. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're actually going to see me get my free chest real quick. You're going to see me actually try to get him from the weekly hot sale. This is something I started doing a few months back, maybe like 6 or 7 months ago, where I've actually saved up gems so that I can make sure that I have enough to afford the next hot, sale creature. So let's get started. So it costs 400 gems to buy it one time. How many times are we going to have to buy it to get them? So the first time I never expect to get them, by the way. It usually takes actually 4 or 5 tries for me to get them. One time it took 6, but that was only a one time thing. So that's number one. Yes, we'll do 400 more. There's number two. And I'm guessing it's going to take me 5 tries, by the way. That's my bet. This is try number three. Try number four. And this is where I expect to get them, and if I don't, I'll be surprised. Try number 5. Wow. I guess I might have to do no go for 6 for the second time ever. Wow, really? I've never had to go beyond 6 before. This is interesting. 7? Are you kidding me? Alright, go for 8. Wow, this is nuts. For 9? I'm out of gems. That's crazy. I've never ever had to spend so much and not even get them. Wow, that was definitely not planned, I'm going to tell you. Usually, it only takes about 2,000, maybe 2,400, gems at the most to get the weekly hot cell hero. It's taken me 9 tries and I haven't been able to get them. There's something buggy about that. I may have to talk with the devs. I don't know if this was an update or what, but that's not cool. Like, I actually saved up over like 3,000 gems just in case, and I still got trolled. Wow. So, okay, how are we gonna fix this situation? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've That's never happened to me before, and I've been doing this for a little while now. So, have to excuse me while I scramble to figure out how I'm gonna get them. I don't like making purchases though. Like, I don't typically buy stuff. Hmm. This is quite awkward. All right, so, huh? I'm gonna be honest, guys. I did not see this coming. I really didn't. I'm like really, really debating if I should actually spend money to try like a few more times. Actually, I don't think it's worth it. It's not. Like, there's something wrong with was in the wrong area. There's absolutely something wrong with the hot sale thing. I honestly think that it should have given it to me by now. I've never had to spend more than 2,400 gems, and I spent over 3,000, I believe. So there's definitely something wrong here. Um, wow. Okay. So we'll go on to the next subject while I debate what I'm going to do about this travesty here. Basically, what I wanted to talk about today is which heroes should you pick in each mode. Like, for those that are low leveled or not as experienced or whatever, you know, sometimes you have so many heroes to choose from, you don't know who to pick first. So I'll kind of give you my picks as far as who you should try to go for. So we're going to go to the guild tournament first. Yes, season 20 is about to begin. Right now we're in the process of setting up our teams, but I'm dealing with that off screen. So going to redeem. So my first hero that I pushed myself was Sorceress. When I first saw her in the weekly hot cell, I knew I had to have her, and so I basically pushed and pushed and pushed to get her. Now, of course, I don't get a whole lot of tournament shop resources as quickly since we've never really made it to the final brackets. But um, I've been doing well on betting in general. There are certain teams, at least in our group of servers, that I know will win for the most part. So I've been using that more or less to get the resources to get Sorceress. And I finally, about a couple weeks ago, got Sorceress to 5 star. So really happy about that. So Sorceress to me is the number one pick. She's just an amazing backline hero. Arguably the best. I'll say arguably. There are a few other backline heroes that you could say might be better, maybe. The next one that I'm working on right now is Chemist. The only reason I'm working on Chemist right now really is because I already have him at 4 stars. Like, I was working on Chemist when Sorceress came out, and I completely dropped Chemist for Sorceress. But I'm trying to finish off Chemist. He's really good in Arena. As a matter of fact, when defensive teams first started, Chemist used to be the beater of the team. Also, Tarot Prophet is not a bad idea either. He's also good in Arena, and he's actually decent in Guild Raid, I'm finding out. So, Tarot Prophet might be, one of your top two picks as far as who go for first. If you don't like Sorceress, I would go Tarot Prophet next, then followed by Chemist. Um, Troll Princess is good in Guild Raid. When I first got her and looked at her abilities, I knew she had potential. Like, she's really good in Crusade and she's really good in Guild Raid. It's just I don't have her leveled enough to really show her off or anything, which is why I'm currently not using her. But I have every intention of pushing her to red and all that. Ghost Knight, from what I've seen, is actually mainly for Arena. I've seen quite a few teams using them in their defense. So that's an interesting thing. I've also seen it in like championship as well. So apparently he does something in arena pretty well. Demon Assassin, I honestly have no information on. I rarely see people use Demon Assassin, so it's really hard to say if you want to push her. One thing I will say about Demon Assassin that's different than most heroes is that her normal attacks deal magic damage, and that's actually a good thing because most of your mages in this game do physical damage when they do their normal attacks. So Demon Assassin is more consistent in her magery, if you will. So, and I honestly think she has potential. I'm pretty sure she's really good in arena. I rarely run into her, and I haven't really pushed her myself either. Dope King, I don't really see people using him. I don't know if he's good or not. I don't think he's good, but I could be wrong. But I don't see him doing anything for anyone in any mode. Corrupted Angel is someone that's been decent in arena, from what I understand. I've never really been intimidated seeing a Corrupted Angel team or a team with Corrupted Angel, so I don't know. As far as Guild Raid, I've never tried him in Guild Raid, so I'm not sure if he's that good. But I would play. He wouldn't be really a top pick for me. So basically, the best ones to pick to sum it all up: Sorceress, really well in both arena and Guild Raid. Same with Tarot Prophet. Those are probably the top two. Followed by, I'd say, maybe Chemist, Ghost Knight, and Troll Princess. I would probably put all together, even Demon Assassin. Those four would probably be like tier two. And then I would say Corrupted Angel and Dope King would probably be tier three. So it's kind of giving you an idea who you use. So yeah, as you can tell, this isn't going to be an action pack. You're going to see me do a bunch of fights kind of thing. This is more of a tutorial for those who are just kind of not sure who to pick. I kind of want to give you my idea. Which reminds me, I need to push up Skeleton Page. I'm not picking him because he's a top pick. I'm picking him because he's the only hero that I don't have in this list. That he's up to 5 stars. But this list is actually tough. I'll be honest with you. Um, and my top lists have changed as of recent. If I was to give you like top picks now, I would probably go for Ninja Assassin, and this is for tier one. So your top picks: Ninja Assassin, Arcane Sapper, Puppet Master, Queen of Curse, which are the four that you see highlighted, other than Nature Storm. So those four right there are probably going to be your tier ones. All four of these are good in arena. And then as far as guild raid, you definitely see a lot of Ninja Assassin and Queen of Curse, doing lots of damage or supporting to help you out there. Um, Tier two, I would have to put Commander there. To me, she used to be tier one, but now that Rose Fencer's around, she's almost useless. But I still like her. In general, she's one of the best frontline fighters in the game. It's just that when I released Turtle Fighter, that completely dropped her. It kind of sucks. But I would put Commander in tier two because she's still decent in arena, as long as there's no Turtle Fighter there. Tusk Storm, I would also put in tier two, and the only reason he's not worse is because he's actually decent in Guild Raid. I actually have used him off and on. He's a good supportish damage like guy. He's pretty good. I also like Dev's voice in tier two. I think she's decent in arena as well. Pretty decent tank. She can put everybody to sleep, so that's pretty cool. Um, and that's probably it. I mean, you might consider Lunar Guardian as tier two. I don't really see him much in arena, but I think some people have been using him in Guild Raid, but I haven't tested that theory yet. And everybody else, which is Nature Storm, Brute, Shadows Keeper, Disease Bringer, Succubus, and Rifleman, or would be considered tier three. Those are the ones that are kind of on the bottom of the tier list. So those would probably be your last picks, more than likely. And it does kind of pain me to put Disease Bringer at the bottom because honestly, Disease Bringer is one of my favorite heroes, but he just doesn't do it in arena anymore, which is really saddening. This I don't know. He just doesn't seem good enough. But as far as like making clones or summoning something, he does have the best summon or clone in the game. It's really tough. The clone itself can stun. It's just really good. So there you have it. Now we're gonna go to the next thing where you can get heroes, which will be the arena. Which, by the way, I'm now at 320 because, as you can tell, I've been attacked a lot. Well, actually, KN Guy just supported me as far as just sending out one hero to attack. So he was just helping me out. So thanks, K guy. But everybody else has, made the attempt to fight me. And there was a team, I think, the other day who knocked me from 2 something to 320. Um, but for the most part, I've been winning a lot. But we're not here to see that today. We're going to talk about heroes. So, in Arena, Tier 1 top picks, Rose Fencer. I absolutely hate Rose Fencer, but he's pretty much changed how I've had to arrange my teams because I can't just pick any hero I want and anymore. I have to kind of think about it. Well, there's a Rose Fencer, I have to figure something out. So Rose Fencer is definitely a game changer. So I would definitely put him at tier one. Turtle Fighter also really good in arena. So definitely tier one. And Death Knight, excuse me. I always call him Death Mage for some reason, but Death Knight also tier one. I won't only put him tier one only for nowadays because back in the day I would have probably put him at tier two, but because of his legendary ability and the fact that everyone's now figured out that defensive teams are actually good for an arena, Death Mage has now become tier one. So, congrats. Um, and then everybody else is almost the same to me. I would say for tier two, I would say Poison One only because he is decent in Guild Raid as far as dealing, some poison damage, if you will, or draining damage, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I completely forgot about Hidden Needle. I would actually put Hidden Needle at tier two. Now, I would prefer her to be tier one because honestly, she has potential to be devastating. The problem with Hidden Needle is that sometimes she just dies without even going doing her ultimate. But once she starts doing her ultimate, then she becomes a force to be reckoned with. So she's kind of a glass cannon. She's kind of hit or miss. So that's why I put her at tier two. I used to run her a lot. She is one of my favorite heroes, but lately she hasn't been doing as well as I'd like. And I have her at red plus one, so it's not that she's not where she needs to be. It's just that all these other teams nowadays don't seem to care anymore. So I'll put her at tier two because she is still pretty good. And if she can go off, she will win you games. As far as anyone else being tier two, it's really hard to say. 'Cause a lot of these heroes don't see a lot of play. So everybody else, I'm just gonna say is tier three. Unsullied Champion, I don't actually have yet, so I don't know much about him. I mean, I have him, but I don't have him at 5 stars yet. I like Deathbringer. I like him in theory because he's good against anyone that has clones, but I don't have him at red plus one yet, so I don't know if he's really going to be that great of a tank or not. And most of the people that have clones aren't even using Arena anymore because Fallen Dominion is not so great these days. And Cloud Walker kind of depends. I think Cloud Walker is more on the defensive side than the offensive side. I like Devastator. I really do. I think he looks good on paper, but I've been trying to test him out, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm really impressed with what he's doing, but on paper, I think he looks good. I've never used Nymph for the Sea, so it's hard for me to say anything about her. I'm gonna put her on tier three until I figure it out. Drunken Master, I've never cared for. I know he was used a lot when he first came out, but in all reality, I've never been intimidated of him back then, and I'm especially not intimidated of him now. Old Curse used to be very popular when it first dropped too, but nowadays you almost never see him. So he's definitely tier three. Wandering Spearman, you almost never see anyone use him. Same with Mystic. Even though I like Mystic, I think he has potential to be good, and I think that the Yukol kind of nerfed him when they dropped him. He should have been much better than he is. Uh, and then Ice Spirit, he is also tier three. I think he also has potential to be good, but there's just so many better heroes that it's hard to figure out where to use him because he. I don't know. It's just saddening. I think he has potential, but he's just not good enough. And then Guardian, I've actually never used, so I don't really know anything really about him. But I will put him at tier three because honestly, no one else seems to use him either. So there you have it. Okay, now we'll go to Grand Arena. And I hope this is a good educational session for those that are, trying to figure this out. Because people have asked in the guild before, who do you guys recommend that I pick next? So I kind of want to be able to help you guys out. So as far as tier one, the ones you absolutely must have, Griffin, probably number one pick. He is just amazing in arena. He will definitely tear it up for you. So he's definitely tier one. Death Mage is actually pretty good too. You can use her in adventure mode. She can be good in guild raid depending on the stage. Um, and she's okay in arena. And I just say okay. I mean, I've lost to teams that have her before, but I wouldn't say she was a deciding factor most of the time. There was one or two times where she was, but I still say she's pretty good. And then Cloudwalker, I still like, even though I don't think he's as great as he once was, he's still really, really good. He's going to help you in guild raid a lot as far as dealing damage. And there are certain bosses that you have to have Cloudwalker in, or you will just lose instantaneously. So Cloudwalker is still really good. Vengeance, I thought it was called Vengeance Spirit, but I guess in here on the shop they call her Vengeance. She's actually really good in Guild Raid. She's one of the also people I use to get my records when I can get them. I haven't really been pushing for them lately because right now most of them are just bosses, but um, I might show another attempt at a record one day. But Vengeance Spirit is definitely good in Guild Raid, so definitely a top pick. I still put her at tier one. And she can be useful like in Grand Arena, I would say. Maybe not Arena, but Grand Arena for sure. Fallen Dominion, I'm gonna still put him at tier one, even though he's not as good as he once was. People still use him, and he's actually decent in guild rate too on certain levels. So he's very useful. So there's a lot of tier ones in Grand Arena Shop, and the mainly reason I think is because they're so easy to get. As far as tier two is concerned, I would probably put everyone else here on tier two. I don't think there would be a tier three. I think everyone else here is actually pretty decent. Elder Giant, I don't really know much about, so I really can't comment too much on him. Ancient Protector is actually decent. You don't see him used a lot. I use him in certain guild raids, believe it or not, on certain levels or certain bosses. I actually do use Ancient Protector. I think I use him against Dwarf Warrior, as a matter of fact, as far as guild bosses are concerned. Uh, he's just pretty good at keeping them from killing your frontline person in the very beginning, and he ends up being your frontline for a little while. And then afterwards, he poops out little plants that can deal lots of damage. And I use Tusk Storm to kind of pump up those little guys too, so there's more damage coming from multiple sources. Pretty good setup that I have for Dwarf Warrior. It's hasn't been a world record kind of thing, but they're not red either, so that's something too. But anyway, Ancient Protector is pretty good. More for guild raid than anything else. But I have seen Ancient Protector in arena before in defensive teams, and he's not bad. He's pretty solid. Witch is good against Ninja Assassin. I mean, that's really what that boils down to. Good against Ninja Assassin, and I want to say she's good against Puppet Master, but I haven't really been able to test that much lately. So, but I want to say she has potential to be good against Puppet Master. Scorpion Queen, the only reason I don't put her in absolute bottom tier is because there was a team that I forgot what his name was. I have him subscribed. I think it was like TKG Mobile Gaming, but he had a team that ran Scorpion Queen. That was actually pretty solid. I actually built the team for a while, but unfortunately, I never got them all to red, so I really couldn't fully test the team out. But there are certain teams where she's actually really good. Basically, you pair her up with I think it's Emberblade, Lightbringer, um, I think Lightning Elemental, and then like Silencer and somebody else, and it's a pretty solid team for arena. And then Deathcore, I've actually never used before. He might actually be bottom tier. He would be tier three as now that I think about it. Same with Stormlord. I've never really seen him used much in arena or guild raid. So yeah, he probably would be tier three, not tier two. So I guess I was wrong. And Iron Hoof, I still say is tier two. I think he has real good potential for arena. It's just that no one's broke him yet, but I'm working on doing that hopefully. And then Wizard Doctor is actually good in certain scenarios as far as Outland Portal and stuff like that. So I still think he's at least tier two ish, borderline three. But yeah, so to kind of sum it up, your top picks are going to be Fallen Dominion, Cloudwalker, Vengeance Spirit, Death Mage, uh, and Griffin for sure. Oh, I didn't even. I completely skipped over Ember Blade. I barely mentioned him when I talked about Scorpion Queen, but I didn't really mention him. I would have considered him tier one when he first dropped, but nowadays he's more like tier two. He's good in the right team. That's the best way that I can tell you. A lot of people say that they don't like him because he provides energy to the other team too quickly, but there are ways to balance that. Like I said, silencer and maybe like ice spirit, things like that, can kind of make that doable. Now let's go to the next group of places you can get heroes on. Um, Trying to remember here. Oh yeah, Soul Shop. Now in the Soul Shop, there's only so many heroes you can get anyway. But of the three, I don't know much about Dual Wield yet. He's the only one I don't have of the three that I'm working on at the moment. As far as Swordmaster is concerned, I think he's good in Guild Raid on certain conditions, but not so much these days. In Arena, people are trying to use him, but I honestly don't think he's that good. So I wouldn't push for him to go first. I mean, you might want to try Cat Fencer, Inferno, and Dual Wield. I just realized something. I don't think I actually have Inferno at 5 stars either. So I've seen people use Inferno in Arena, and he seems really good. So I would say that in the Soul Shop, get an Inferno first. He's actually pretty strong. Followed by, I would want to guess either Cat Fencer or Dual Wield. I'm testing out Cat Fencer right now. It's not 100% successful. I mean, Cat Fencer is currently 5 stars and red, fully enchanted, I believe. So he can do something. I think he has to be in the right team. And again, I'm working on getting Dual Wield, so I don't know much about him yet. And as far as, like I said, Inferno is going to be your top pick. I've never used him, but I've seen others use him. He's really good. So get Inferno first. That's really where you want to cap that at. What else are we going to do here? I think that's it as far as. Oh no, Crusade. Which is something I haven't been doing much lately. I just haven't had time between work and other things. So I got to get back into it because now the rewards for this has gotten better. I'm working on Queen of Nature only because she's the only one I don't have. As far as top picks, I'm going to say tier one would definitely be Dwarf Warrior. He's very, very tanky. I mean, what more can you say? Manipulator, she's actually really good against offensive teams. I mean, I would say if you're going to be attacking other teams, Manipulator will probably help you out in keeping them from doing their ultimates potentially. She is kind of hit or miss. It's kind of more RNG based than anything else. But there was a time when I used to be upset when I saw a manipulator on someone's team. I'm not so upset anymore these days because I can handle her better, but there was a time when she was tough, so I'll still put her at tier 1. Desert Lycan, I would also put at tier 1 as well. He's actually decent in Arena and also can do some damage in Guild Raid, so definitely another top pick. Um, I think that's it. Some people might. Oh yeah, Lightbringer. How could I forget that? One of the ones I use the most. Definitely, I think would be tier one as well. Really good against Ninja Assassin and Arcane Sapper most of the time, and and his other abilities are good too. So I mean, he's really good in Arena. You probably will never use him in Guild Raid, but definitely for Arena. And then I would put Frost Mage at tier two. Some people might say tier one, but I've never been that big of a fan of Frost Mage personally. I think she's good in certain scenarios, but I would never use her in Guild Raid or Arena. But I think she's good, like maybe in certain Outland portals or trials and stuff like that. That's where you're gonna want to use her. So that's why I put her at tier two. Cross Knight, I think, has potential to be tier one, but I'm gonna leave him at tier two for now because most of your defensive teams don't run Cross Knight. But I think that if you have Cross Knight, and you don't have, say, I don't know, Dwarf Warrior, he might be an okay replacement until you make Dwarf Warrior better. So I'll say he's tier two for defensive team's sake. I'm only gonna put Vanguard Warrior as tier two because him and Ember Blade have a little combo with as far as a team that used to be really solid a few months back, and I haven't seen anyone really using it anymore. But I think that in the right team, right scenario, he can be okay. So tier two for sure. There was a time that I would have put Commando at tier two, but she's just not good enough anymore. So I'm gonna say tier three for her. Phoenix also tier three. You don't really see him being used at all. Um, Actually, let me talk about Enchantress real quick. She actually, I would say, is tier two. I've seen some teams actually use her in arena, and I think she has potential to be really, really good. I just haven't really had the resources and time to use her, but she would be tier two, so that's someone to consider once you get your favorites out of the way. Pilot's tier three, he's just not good at all in any mode. Simple as that. Windmaster, I'm gonna say she's now tier two. I would have said tier three, but there is a team that can use her pretty well. It's the whole like put Master Mage in the front line, let her die, and let everybody else in the back go off. Well, Windmaster is one of those heroes that can do a lot of damage when she goes ultimate. So I'll put her at tier two. Iron Dragon tier three. No one really uses them that much. Dungeon Keeper. I think people try to use him, but I don't think he's useful at all in any mode. So also tier three. So to sum it all up, you want Desert Lycan, Dwarf Warrior, and Lightbringer. Those are the ones you're going to want the most here for your first picks. And I think that is all of them. Yeah, that's everybody. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. So if you ever were kind of wondering, who you should consider picking in each mode, hopefully I've given you a good idea on who you should use. And I do apologize for the whole not being able to show off the weekly hot sale hero. I had every intention of doing it, I really did, but I didn't think I was going to get trolled this bad. Like, I think I actually spent like 3,200 gems and still didn't get them. This has never ever happened before. Like, I've consistently only spent 2,000 consistently. There was one time I spent 24, and there was one time I spent only 2,000, which was great, or 1,600, which was great. But usually, 5 tries at 2,000 gems is usually good enough. So, what I'll have to do is once I finally get the hero, I'll probably just post another video that has me talking about the hot stove hero and whatever else I decide to do. So again, I do apologize. I was really expecting to get this done. I did not think the game was going to troll me this bad. So you get to see me even when things don't work out too well. Well, I guess it's going to end the video for today. Thank you guys for checking us out. I hope this was helpful, and you guys take it easy.